we're live, as always. Currently filming stuff right now. No worries. I'm still gonna do this show anyway, but no worries. In fact, honestly, not just my whole, so I'll be a listener. Again, no worries. Really, this is one of those that is a list. Really, this is one of those episodes that is more of a listen than a interact. Although, just a heads up, there might be at least one time where I will ask for input. Oh. Well, this person manifested. Anyway, I guess now that we have our two regulars, welcome to Wonder After Dark. So tonight on the show, that would be fine. Okay, so tonight on the show, I knew that was coming. Anyway, tonight on the show, we're talking canceled movies and shows. Canceled movies and shows. Not exactly an original topic, but a topic regardless. Now, I'm not really going to talk any... Oh, actually, before we get into that, I almost forgot to mention, Alf reboot was canceled. I didn't even know there was a reboot. But anyway, before I get into the topic of this episode, last night's episode went on a little long. In fact, it went on for 1 hour and 51. Okay, yeah. Anyway, last night's episode went on for 1 hour and 51 minutes. Naturally, my bedtime kind of got delayed because of that. Got to the point where my mom had to ask me to... I already knew that, but anyway. Got to the point where my mom told me to go to bed. So we're trying to keep this episode under 100 minutes. 80 or less. This episode's going to be 80 minutes or less. Just a heads up. But anyway, back on topic. Canceled movies, canceled shows, whatever. Now, a movie or TV show can be canceled for any number of reasons. It can be canceled during production. It can be canceled during broadcast. Any number of reasons. And of course, a movie can be canceled. And of course, the reasons for cancellation can be varied. It can either be due to budget problems, it can be due to licensing, it can be due to popularity, you name it. Or Joe's Pizza. Mark's Pizzeria. Did you know? Cock, and cock. Anyway. But yeah, movies, shows, they can be canceled for any number of reasons. And we're going to talk up some canceled films and canceled series. I'm not going to talk any specific cancellations. And I'm definitely not going to talk about any, in any specific order. I'm just going to talk canceled movies and shows in general. Although this first one is interesting in that it's not exactly a canceled film in the traditional sense, in that the film in question did end up releasing. It just did not release in the form that was originally conceived. Let me explain. My Little Pony: A New Generation is a 2021 animated adventure comedy film. I'm not reading the whole information, but basically the long and short of it, the film marks the beginning of the 5th incarnation of the franchise, which is set to serve as the official sequel to the previous generation, a first for the franchise. The film also marks Boulder Media's first feature film. So yeah, basically, My Little Pony: A New Generation, released in 2021. Typically with My Little Pony as a franchise, the next generation would have virtually nothing to do. You didn't let me finish. But I mean, you wouldn't be wrong. But anyway, typically each generation of My Little Pony would be pretty much entirely separate from the last. Okay, you might see a couple of characters shared between each generation, but up until Generation 4, there was largely no connection, with each series basically being a reboot of the last. But New Generation, the movie, was a first, in that it was the first time the previous generation had gotten a direct sequel. In this case, Friendship is Magic. Anyway, now again, this film did end up releasing. So you're probably thinking, why are you talking about it in the context of canceled movies, if it's a movie that did end up releasing? Well, here's why. So, although Wikipedia states that it would center on a new cast of characters, which it did, early on, A New Generation would not have focused on that. In fact, early concept art reveals something very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, here we go. Early concept art. Okay, I should probably turn the brightness down. There we go. Early concept art of both Rainbow Dash and Twilight reveal that A New Generation, presumably, I don't know for certain, I don't know if this was ever confirmed, but presumably would have followed the main 6 again, rather than a new cast of characters. But ultimately, this did not end up happening, as the film we got, and of course the 2, not 1, but 2 shows that followed the film, centered around a new core cast of characters, with no connection to the previous 6. So, not technically a canceled film, but a film that got reworked during production. Presumably. Again, I don't know for sure if this concept art means it would have been about the main 6, or if it's just merely concept art showing what they would look like in this style, but I'm still lumping it in. Okay, so before I say anything else, what is a canceled film or series that comes to your mind, audience? Audience members, or member, depending on which, but what's a canceled film or canceled series that comes to your mind? That air conditioning is loud. Okay, what does it say? If you count that as a canceled film, then I have around 30 canceled Rain Man films. I mean, I don't consider it a canceled film in the literal sense, like as in a new generation never released. Rather, I would say the quote-unquote original. I do count it, though. Okay, yeah, fair. But rather, I'd say the original version was canceled. So there's that. But yeah, that is, even though that's very specific to you, that is a good one. So, another, again, I'm not really, I count Gen 4 as Gen 1. Don't we all? Really, the previous generation, okay, I probably shouldn't say it like this, because for all we know, I could watch those earlier generations and end up liking them, but G4 is just the best to me. That you could say it's the first. Yeah. Anyway, back on top. Yep, that is true. Generations 1 through 3 are weirdly obscure, yet also significantly important. Yeah, even if those earlier generations of My Little Pony are a little out there, a little weird, and weirdly obscure, they are still important, because without those, we wouldn't have Friendship is Magic. So, they do matter in that sense. Anyway. Yes, thank you. Do that. Give us a Sonic collab. Give us a Sonic crossover. Anyway, back on topic. I wish. Anyway, back on topic. Again, I'm not really covering these in any real particular order. I'm just covering canceled movies that I think are the most interesting. What would be another Sonic and Pokemon crossover when? When it is. I don't know when, but when the... Anyway. Now again, I'm not really covering these in any real particular order. Hang on. They once made a poll for what franchise Sonic should cross over with, and My Little Pony was in that poll. I actually do remember that poll. Even before I was in. I don't know if it won or not. I don't know either. I would imagine if it didn't win, it at least got really close. Close enough for them to at least consider. But anyway, back on topic. I'm not really covering canceled films in order, like any real particular order. I'm just covering canceled movies and shows in general. Although, I guess while we're on both ironically and unironically. Okay. Although I guess while we're on the topic, I did almost forgot. Let me try that again. I did almost forget to mention this, but Generation 4, Friendship is Magic, seemingly would have gotten another movie, as evidenced by, turning the brightness down again, as evidenced by these pieces of concept art. It's unknown if this other G4 movie would have been both Ace. It's unknown. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, anyway. Give them a duo comic series. Yes. Anyway. Now, various pieces of concept art surfaced. Okay, now various pieces of concept art. Sir, I'm sorry if you can't see, audience. It's I just make do with what I got. I don't have like the fanciest stream setup, but anyway, various pieces of concept art surfaced a couple years ago. I don't think it was ever figured out. Sonic and Dash. Yes. Anyway, I don't think it was ever confirmed what this concept art was for. It could possibly have been for a new generation, but some people believe that this was concept art for a sequel to the 2017 My Little Pony movie. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But if that is the case, then we were robbed, because this is some great artwork. But yeah. Alright. Are there any other canceled movies or canceled shows that are on y'all's minds? Because if not, I'm going to jump to the one that's literally in my eyesight. Take your time. Home Alone, the show. Talk about, okay, Godzilla versus Bat. That doesn't even sound real. Like, I know for a fact that most likely and most definitely is real, Godzilla versus Batman, but that doesn't even sound real. Well, I mean, Home Alone, the show, was mentioned first, so I guess I'll talk about it, but yeah, Home Alone. I guess a brief little recap. Home Alone. Maybe not the best Christmas movie ever, like many claim it is, but an iconic staple of the holiday season. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. A good movie, but still just a lazy rehash of the first movie. Like, okay, I mean, yeah, that is true. Home Alone 2, Home Alone 1 and 2 are based, but you have to admit it, Lost in New York really is just a rehash of the first movie. Not trying to sound harsh at all, it just is. Like, everything they did in Home Alone 1, they did in Home Alone 2. All they did is just change up the setting. I mean, yeah, that is true. Really, Home Alone 2 is still better than what followed it. But anyway, Home Alone 3. The first one without literally everyone. It's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. Yeah, exactly. Home Alone 3. Not a bad movie at all. In fact, I guess if you look at it as just its own thing, I was getting there, but that is true. 4 is balls on fire. Anyway, but Home Alone 3. Not as good as the previous two, but perfectly fine. Perfectly serviceable. Nowhere near as good as what preceded it, but still a good movie regardless. Home Alone 4 is just straight ass. Home Alone 4... Okay, I could go on and on and on and on and on about why Home Alone 4 is so terrible. But assuming this show lasts until Christmas this year, I might save that for the Christmas time season. Again, that's if this show makes it to December, I might save it till then. But anyway, Home Alone 2, let me try that again. Home Alone 4, also known as Home Alone 4 Taking Back the House, or just simply Home Alone Taking Back the House, is a 2002 made-for-television Christmas family comedy film, which first aired on ABC on November 3rd, 2002, as the first episode of the 47th season of The Wonderful World of Disney. It was then followed by a DVD release by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment on September 2nd, 2003. And gotta say, it's kind of surreal to see a 20th Century Fox production for Disney a solid 20 years before I watched it when it first aired. Oh, that must have been 9/11. Oh my god. And there's your remind. And there's a Sylv showing his or her or their or whatever age. I thankfully did not see this when it first aired. I saw it on DVD. Anyway, back on topic, but Home Alone 4. This is the first film in the Home Alone franchise to not receive a theatrical release. Now, what if I told you that Home Alone 4 somehow could have been even worse than it was? I'm talking even worse. Because Home Alone 4 was made and produced and conceived as a feature-length pilot episode for a Home Alone television series for ABC. Take a wild it was meant... Yep. Take a wild shot in the dark as to why that show didn't happen. The film received negative reviews. Oh, I believe you. I know you're not joking, audience. Even though both of you audience members feel like jokes. Anyway, the film received negative reviews, with criticism directed towards the performances of the cast and the lack of continuity with the first two films. Oh yeah, and that reminds me. Unlike Home Alone 3, which very much had really nothing to do with Home Alone 1 and 2, it was pretty much its own standalone... I was getting to that. Home Alone 3 was pretty much its own standalone, self-contained entity. It did not try to connect itself to the preceding films other than the super basic premise. And weirdly enough, I think it works really well in that context. In fact, if they wanted to make Home Alone an anthology series, I think it could have worked really well. Instead, the film is considered non-canon to the first two films, which is why Home Alone 5 worked. Yep. Anyway, the film is considered as non-canon to the first two films due to several continuity errors. Several. First of all, Kevin is 8 in Home Alone 1. He is 9 in Home Alone 4. He is 10 in Home Alone 2. In that span of time, the parents are married, get divorced, remarried. And on top of that, they somehow manage to mix up Marv and Harry. Not divorced yet. I hate that I just got corrected on fucking Home Alone 4. Of all the movies I should be corrected about, this is not one of them. In fact, I feel like I need my damn life corrected. That's the closest you're gonna get to anyway. But yeah. They somehow managed to mix up Marv and Harry, so they refer to him as Marv the entire movie when he looks like Harry. Moving on. But, well, yeah, Harry is mentioned in Home Alone 4, but the problem is the Marv that we're looking at looks like Harry. That's the problem. The Marv we see in Home Alone 4 is clearly based on Harry. That's the fucking problem here. I don't know jack shit about French Stewart other than this godforsaken movie. And of course, let's not forget the wasted potential. Home Alone set in a futuristic smart house sounds really stupid on paper, but it could have been actually pretty fun. Problem is, it isn't fun. It isn't. It's just fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. The remote looks like a toy. Yes, this whole movie is fucking stupid. Huge emphasis on the fucking. I need to overdose. Yeah, in case you ever wanted to see that, there you go. I'm sure one of these days that footage is going to resurface. I love bumping, don't we all? I'm sure one of these days that clip is going to resurface and just randomly blow up. And I know for a fact that clip is going to surface when I've retired. Talk about the butler from Home Alone 4. Okay, but this is the last time I'm talking about Home Alone 4 on this episode. He's just kind of there. Like, literally the whole movie just about, he serves, like, no purpose other than to say Kevin was being a little bitch. And then, just at the end, oh, let me knock out this bitch. That's the only purpose the butler serves. He's just kind of there, right? He's just kind of, he is as there as my nips usually are. My God. He was like the anti-old man Marley and the anti-old lady. Meaning instead of rooting for them, you hope they go the Joe Biden route and get diagnosed with COVID-19. God, I don't even get this. Okay, I get passionate about the people I genuinely hate. And even then, this is probably the most passionate I've ever gotten about something. Oh my God. Thanks for bringing up Home Alone 4, dickface. Thanks. Oh my God, okay. I'm done talking about Home Alone 4. I don't want to actually have an aneurysm. Batman vs. Godzilla. I was getting there. It's just a certain fucking slut made me talk about Home Alone 4. Now next time, oh Jesus Christ. Again, if this show makes it to Christmas, I might end up talking about all 6 Home Alones. In fact, I'm telling you, I might make that the first 6 shows of December. Anyway. Okay. Oh my God. But basically, oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Thanks for nearly killing me. You granted my wish, but at what cost? I wish my balls were on liquid nitrogen laced with tarantulas. I also wish, anyway. Okay. I guess I'll have to look this one up. Godzilla versus Batman, because this genuinely does not sound real. I sent it. Okay, never mind. I just looked it up, but I just got sent the link. Okay. Okay. Batman meets Godzilla. This doesn't sound real. I know it is, but it does not sound real. Okay. Batman meets... I'm convinced no one is real. Anyway. Oh my god. Anyway. Batman Meets Godzilla is an unmade Godzilla film. It was intended to be a collaboration between Toho and Greenway Productions. Two separate treatments exist. One by Shinichi fuck you, and the other by an unknown American author. The former was titled Batman vs. Godzilla. The American treatment is available at the American Heritage Center in the University of Wyoming as a part of a collection of papers belonging to Batman producer William Dozer. Oh, good lord, there's a plot. Oh, Lord Almighty. Oh, help me, Jesus. Okay. Plot. Barbara Gordon and her father, Commissioner Gordon, are taking a boat across the Far East when one of Barbara's friends from Vassar, Reiko Hamame Endme, appears. Eventually, a tidal wave capsizes their boat that was seemingly caused by Klaus Finster, a German meteorologist who, after 20 years of being holed up in Argentina, has migrated to Japan, and now has a secret lair underneath Mount Fuji. The Mad Finster claims to have a weather machine that he'll use to destroy Japan unless given $20 million worth of gold. Yeah, I'm already at a loss. Gordon realizes that there are only two men for this job: the Caped Crusader and the Boy Wonder themselves, Batman and Robin. Okay, I was wondering when Godzilla was going to come into this plot. Unknown to the dynamic duo and their allies, Finster doesn't have control over the weather, but actually has control over Godzilla. I was wondering when we were going to get there. Finster uses his control to make the giant reptile leave the Mariana Trench and head towards Japan once more. Batman and Robin, after battling a robotic copy of their ally, Count Dreidel? Finster from... I'm fucking struggling. Meet with Gordon and the Japanese police. Batman having suspicions of Godzilla's involvement. I love how Batman just knows who Godzilla is. Because I think I missed a sentence, but it feels like I'm missing the part where Batman is made aware of Godzilla. Anyway, watches footage of the Beast's battle with King Kong to make this doesn't sound real. I know this is real, but oh my god, this does not. Oh my god, this does not sound real. This does not. This sounds so made up that it's not. It really does. Sounds like 60s fan fiction. Oh my god. No, no, no. Not even that. This sounds like if AI had existed in the 60s, this is what it would be spitting out. If we had created AI technology in the 1960s, this is what it would be spitting out at us. Oh my god, okay. And I'm not even towards the end. Kill me. A waiting game ensues, and when a kabuki show turns into a sword fight, Reiko is revealed to be one of Finster's spy robots after an accident. Okay, I can't read that sentence, so I can't read that word on YouTube because it might get me taken down. But accidental. Batman and Robin give chase to Finster, and the duo are trapped. That's another word I can't read because it's associated with an Austrian painter that was disguised as a taxi cab. Barbara, now having donned the Batgirl attire, frees them with a pocket-sized blunt after a chase through a Japanese bath. What the fuck am I reading? I can't. I just can't. Oh my god. Just when I thought the shirtless Rain Man photos broke me, this did it. My god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh my god. They finally encounter Godzilla. This time is a turbulent recon mission in the Batcopter. Somehow the most normal sentence I have read so far. The mission causes Batman to go into a state of nervous agitation. Welcome to the club. Oh my god, I wonder if Batman shits his pants and has nightmares too. And they take a bullet train to Osaka when word arrives that the city is Finster's next target. They eventually devise a plan. Lure Godzilla with a main call. Lure Godzilla with a main. Lure Godzilla with a mating call. They lure Godzilla with a mating call. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am not faking this. I am genuinely. Oh my god. Oh my god. And knock out the explosives. Or knock out the giant with explosives. After this, he surveys the Japanese people, who unanimously vote, oh, of course they do, to send the creature into space. Oh my god. With their plan, I don't know. With their plan in place, and after a chase and fight with Klaus Finster, oh my god. Oh my god. Batman, Robin, and Batgirl all engage Godzilla with their vehicles, with the giant beast grabbing Batgirl during the fight. Batman unflinchingly uses the call anyway, causing Godzilla to throw Barbara Gordon away, with the young woman landing all the way, oh my god, at the Daibutsu Buddha. Batman scales Godzilla, and I'm not reading that because, again, YouTube might think I'm up to some stuff. Tying it to the beast with bat rope before he moves to safety, and in Minecraft knocking the beast out. Japanese scientists build a rocket around Godzilla while he is unconscious, before ultimately launching the rocket into orbit above Earth's surface, with Godzilla forever contained within. I'm on the verge of tears. You couldn't possibly script my reaction to this. Oh my god, you couldn't possibly stage, fake, etc. Oh my god. I almost threw up because of this. Like, a genuine, I was this close to throwing up. Vomit would have been everywhere because of this. Oh my god, that was that... Can I top that? Because I don't think I can. I think not a lot of other information except that plot. Yeah, I don't think I can handle any more of that. Oh my god. What is wrong with you? If you wanted me to pass away, you almost succeeded. I'm still alive, but you almost succeeded if the goal was to make me pass away. That was... Oh. This also would have been the first live-action interpretation of Batgirl. I don't know how to feel about that. A sec. I am genuinely at a loss. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, on the version of this show which does not exist anymore, it took about 150 episodes to break me. Y'all did it in record time. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna be... Oh my god. What is wrong with you people? Discord, okay. Funny and... Review Sonic Extreme. And Wonders of the World. Oh my god. Okay. Oh god. I'm gonna start with... This time... I know I said I wasn't gonna go in chronological order, but this one I'm gonna do in order. Well, this one... Okay, I'm gonna back. Oh my god, oh. Anyway. Oh my god. Sonic the Hedgehog, Wonders of the World. Sonic the Hedgehog, Wonders of the World is an unfinished film adaptation of the Sonic the Hedgehog video game franchise. The film was intended to be a co-production between MGM, Trilogy Entertainment Group, and Sega, and it began development in 1994. It was canceled the following year before production could even commence. Okay. The plot. And this time I'm not going to get choked up because I've heard the plot before. Josh Pinsky, the 12-year-old son of a divorced couple, it's always divorce with these movies, is presenting his incomplete school paper about a historical event. The unamused teacher warns Josh to finish his paper by tomorrow or face being referred to by his parents. Josh goes home to his father. Oh yeah, I know you love divorce because your parents are divorced. 2 Christmases. I couldn't help myself. Anyway. Okay. I remember years ago I said that exact same joke. No, I remember years ago I said that exact same joke to your face, and I think you wanted to cry. I seriously remember that, and I'm pretty sure you wanted to cry after I said that. Anyway. Oh my god, and I'm going straight to hell. Anyway. I'm gonna skip ahead so this doesn't take too long. Anyway, Josh goes home to his apartment. We have a divorce. Anyway, Josh goes home to his apartment owned by his father, Hal, an unemployed computer scientist who has a computer called the XRI, or Extremely Radical Intelligence. At that moment, Josh, which half? Anyway, Josh, being a little dumbass, plugs his totally cool Sega Saturn with Sonic Extreme into the XRI. At that moment, Sonic jumps out of the XRI into the real world, becoming a 3D character capable of interacting with reality. It is here that Sonic and Josh bond, but unbeknownst to them, Robotnik, identified by his real name, a canceled game inside of a canceled movie. Yes. It is here that Dr. Robotnik also jumps out of the game too. When Hal comes home to see his apartment in ruins, there's something about the Chaos Emeralds. I apologize if I'm, not reading this at all. I'm still recovering. I want to live in the timeline. Batman meets Godzilla broke me. Anyway, Eggman builds an amusement park. Don't we all? Hey, Ferb, I know what we're going to do today. Where's Perry? Eggman then runs into Hal. I wish the wife's name was Lois, because Lois would have 100% screamed at Hal about this. They have a chase. After the chase, the Kinderbots return home, being unconditionally obedient to their parents. That is literally just the end of Spy Kids. No, the whole premise of building robot children, and then they turn good, that's just Spy Kids, literally. Verbatim, that's just the end of Spy Kids. Josh hatches a plan to return everything back to normal, and return Dr. Eggman back into the game world. I mean, before Spy Kids, but that is still what happens in Spy Kids. The climax has Josh rescue Sonic and the duo battle Dr. Eggman before Josh activates the XRI and causes himself... Oh my god. Causes everyone to enter Sonic Extreme. Another battle ensues with a newly rejuvenated Sonic. Oh yeah, this whole time, who would have known? Me. Oh yeah. And also this whole time, Sonic is pulling a Mr. Conductor. He's fading. Mr. C, why couldn't you travel anymore to the island of Sodor? The magic is all gone. That scene is the story of my life. Anyway, with Eggman's plans foiled, he vows to return and escapes. Sonic decides to stay in his world, knowing that it needs him to stop Eggman's schemes. The 1994 Fantastic Four film, a film that was completed but never released because of a legal loophole. Slow down. Slow the hell down. I can only cover so many canceled movies at one time. Jesus Christ. I only do this show for 2 people, yet it feels like I do it for 20. Oh my god. But yeah, that one. I don't know the whole story behind that one, but I actually did want to cover the Pixar Circle 7 movies on this episode, but it's getting a little late for that, and that's 3 movies, so I'll save that for another It's on YouTube for free, believe it or not. I'll have to check it out. But, God. Oh, yeah, I forgot to read the end of this. He bids Josh farewell. And how he... Jesus Christ, my brain is fried. Sonic winks at the screen, and Josh starts playing Sonic Extreme again. Oh my god. Okay, seriously, y'all broke me. This... Little did I know the episode about canceled movies would break me. But it did. I didn't expect it to, but it did. Alright, place your bets now. What's going to break me on tomorrow night's episode? Oh my god. Okay, so I guess that Fantastic Four movie is really good. I guess. I don't know. I wish the HD version would be... Fun fact, did you know that there's a bunch of 4K remasters of various 20th Century Fox movies that have never been released and are just gathering dust in the Disney archives? No, seriously, did y'all know that? That there's just a bunch of 20th Century Fox 4K remasters that have just been unreleased because of Disney? If you didn't know that, then the more you know. Alright, we're going to take a... Okay. We're going to take a little bit of a break to do two things. One, we're just going to try and catch my breath. Yeah, I like the 2000s one. Anyway, we're going to take a little bit of a break to catch my breath and to talk about something kind of off topic that's been bothering me for a while. Something that bothers me... Yeah, Silver Surfer is a guilty pleasure. Anyway, okay. Kind of unrelated, but going off topic for a minute to discuss this. Okay. It bothers me when people act like Disney never licenses their films to other studios and other distributors, because they actually do, and they have done that on occasion. Don't believe me? Grab these examples. Okay. Anyway, going off topic to talk about this, because it's been on my mind for a while. It bothers me when people say that Disney does not license their content to other studios, other distributors, other labels, because they have before. And I have a couple... I'm not going to show every example, but I have a couple examples. First, here's iRobot on Blu-ray. This is a 20th Century Fox film, but Disney, of course, purchased... Okay, no worries. See you next time. Have a day. Meds are kicking in. Bye-bye. If you want to catch up, the replay will be up tomorrow. See you in my... Okay, anyway, directing this back to you, Spider. It bothers... Okay, not trying to repeat myself, but... Okay, funny image. Time for the funny image. It absolutely shits me how little Ryan Gosling has changed. I want to age as well as he has. But instead, I feel like I'm gonna grow up to look like a fucking crackhead. Defunny indeed. Okay, anyway. I will talk more canceled movies in a minute. But I want to go off topic to mention something that has been bothering me for a while. It bothers me when people say that Disney never licenses their content to other studios, labels, etc. Because they have, plenty of times. Albeit never any of their, like, big name flagship. Like, nothing like Toy Story, The Lion King, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Aladdin, etc. Don't believe me that Disney has licensed anything? Here's iRobot. Now, this is a 20th Century Fox film, but of course Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, so now they own it. Now, what do we have here on the back here where my finger is? Mill Creek Entertainment. Mill Creek is not a Disney company, not a Disney subsidiary, but this is a Disney film. Disney-owned film, at least. And it does say on the back, in the fine print, licensed for distribution to Mill Creek Entertainment, LLC. So this Blu-ray was not released in-house by Disney. It was licensed to another studio, another distributor. So, one question. One question. Since you prefer being referred to as a girl, I wonder why you keep your facial hair. Okay. It's actually it's equal parts simple to explain, but hard to put into words. I have a certain reaction to certain things. Like, if you touch me at all, I kind of go into freak out mode. Why do I mention that? Well, let's just say if you take a blade to my face, any kind of blade, knives, scissors, razors, you name it, I kind of get a little freaky. Not that kind of freaky, but I kind of go into a little freak out mode. And while it probably would help if I got rid of all of this, and admittedly I feel like I should, given the obvious, it's just whenever I do say to myself, I think like, oh, I could cut myself. Yeah. Especially my legs and torso. I'll remember that. But that should make sense. That should make perfect sense what I mean. And that was pretty random, but that was a good question. But yeah, that's kind of why. I'm not saying I necessarily want to keep it, but that's kind of why it's still here. It's because when you bring blades to my face and shoulders, if I do. But yeah. It's basically because if you bring a blade to my face, I kind of go into a little panic mode. That's kind of why. But anyway, there's a title, going back on topic, there's a title that Disney owns that they license to another distributor. Need more proof that they license out their titles? Here's Scrubs, the complete first season. What's that on the back there? Mill Creek Entertainment. What's this in the fine print? Licensed for distribution to Mill Creek Entertainment, LLC. And again, Mill Creek logo on the discs, licensed for distribution to Mill Creek Entertainment. And then here we have a release that's kind of a bit of an interesting anomaly. I said that Disney almost never licenses out their flagship films. Scrubs is definitely not flagship. iRobot was big for 20th Century Fox, but not for Disney. But then, in 2022, Wall-E made it into the Criterion Collection. Now that's a big name movie. Disney, Pixar, that's a flagship. So, how did Wall-E, of all movies, make it into the Criterion Collection? It's because the film's director, Andrew Stanton, submitted it to be in the collection, and they accepted. So, although yes, Disney had to license it out, it was less of a Disney decision and more of a director decision. But here's a film under the Disney banner that was licensed to another label. And worth noting, when this release was first announced, people said like, oh, this is the first Disney film to make it into the Criterion Collection. But that's not exactly true. While yes, it is the first film under the Disney banner to make it into the Criterion Collection, it's not the first Disney-owned film to make it in. Armageddon and The Rock, both released under the Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures banners, made it into the Criterion Collection. And then let me grab it here. There it is. Chasing Amy, which is under the Miramax banner, that made it into the Criterion Collection. Several Wes Anderson films, which were under Touchstone, made it in. Putting this back on the shelf. There we go. And if we want to get technical, again, if we want to get technical, Fantastic Mr. Fox, which was a 20th Century Fox film, made it into the Criterion Collection. And if I'm not mistaken, that Criterion release of Fantastic Mr. Fox had come out after Disney's purchase of 20th Century Fox was complete. Therefore, if I'm not mistaken, it technically counts. So a few Disney films had made it in prior, but this was the first one under the banner. Again, that has nothing to do with canceled movies. It just bothers me when people say, like, Disney never licenses out their content. When they do, they just don't license out any of their, like, big name, okay, Discord, watch on stream. Okay. Already, based on the thumbnail, I know it's going to be good. But yeah, I guess to conclude that little tangent, it just bothers me when people say that Disney never licenses out their content when they do, and have done so plenty of times. Alright, let me check my battery life real quick. Okay, we got plenty of battery. Alright. Batman mating call. Just randomly send me Batman mating call. Okay. Wrestlers saying questionable things. I feel like that combination of words could also be used to sum up my life. And why does he look green? Why does he look green screened in? Like, he does not look like he's really there. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this. Actually, let me turn this up a little bit so I can hear it.
You said, brother, I'm coming through, boy. I'm coming hard. I don't care. You come in my face.
You come in.
Because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before. We ain't gonna bust a nut. When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass. That's it.
Sting's always coming.
I want you. I want to get you. I want to have you. I want to get to touch your body. My kids turn me on.
Not just call the police, call the fucking police. Oh, okay, that's a little better. Yeah, pretty much. And that's a great note to end on. Dicks. Oh, that was certainly something. That was something. Ooh. Wrestlers, same question. Oh, and there's part 2. Okay, I guess I gotta watch part 2 as well. I'm watching part 2. Not even a second in. Come Tuesday. Coming in. But come Tuesday. This stupid music gets me. Oh, wait. I forgot. What does that say? Wait, what does that say? Oh! Okay, I don't know jack shit about Vince McMahon, but I definitely did not know that. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh, and that. That face. There's the siren. I don't come. How unfortunate. The stupid music with. My god. I'm so immature. But at least those 2 videos I don't think are sending me to hell. I don't think. Mother of God. So before I guess I gotta go back on topic. There's one more, well, 2 more. One kind of brief, the other more lengthy. But there's 2 more canceled movies I want to talk about before I wrap up this episode. But before we do, it's time for the Random Compliment Minute. The Random Compliment Minute, where for the next minute, you randomly compliment me. Serious compliments only. I like your hair. Thank you. I believe that's the first time you've ever said that, but thank you. I like your hair too. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on topic. There are two more canceled films that I want to talk about before I wrap up this episode. The first of these, actually, let me put these away because I don't really need them for this example right this moment. All right, let's just put these back. There we go. Okay, anyway, back on topic. Two more canceled films that I want to talk about before we wrap up this episode. This first one is very short. With Deadpool and Wolverine releases in 1 week, you are probably expecting me to talk the various attempts at a Deadpool movie. Oh wait, what is this? I missed something. What would it feel like to make out with a pony? Genuine answer, I do not know. Anyway. Alright. But now it's time for this. So, Deadpool and Wolverine, the long-awaited third Deadpool, releases next week, July 26th. You're probably expecting me to talk about the different attempts at a Deadpool movie. Instead, I am deeply upset that for Deadpool 3 they did not go with the canceled draft of Deadpool 2, where the entire movie is dedicated to him trying to steal the big red chair from The Voice. That just sounds so stupid that it would have been worth it. That just sounds so stupid that it would have been worth it. Okay. Anyway. Alright. I got time to talk about one more canceled movie, and then I'm going to wrap up this episode. So, this is a movie I have talked about on the show before, but I figured we're talking about movies that either got canceled, were never made, or just shelved. So I figured... Wait, what does it say? I want a Deadpool film where he attempts to sleep with the entire Marvel universe. I mean, isn't Deadpool already just a gay, autistic kid? Anyway, back on topic. Alright, now this is a movie I have talked about on this show before, but I figured we're talking about movies that were either canceled, planned but never made, etc., so why not? We'll save this one for last. The Adventures of Thomas. The Adventures of Thomas was a planned theatrical Thomas and Friends film. According to director Shane Acker, Deadpool x Hulk, saving this one for last. The Adventures of Thomas was a planned theatrical Thomas and Friends film. According to director Shane Acker, the film was eventually canceled after being pushed back several times following Mattel's acquisition of Hit Entertainment. Anyway, the film was to be the first in a potential series which would run alongside the television series. Its visuals would have used a combination of live action and CGI, with the latter aspect being supplied by Weta Digital of Thanos fame. However, the E2 tank engine, portrayed in the teaser poster, was made by Nitrogen Studios, who had been animating for the TV series at the time. The film was also intended to create its own line of toys aimed at an older audience. Now, the film was slated for many release dates, 2010, 2011, then finally 2012. There were rumors of 2013 and 14 and 15, but nothing confirmed. So, The Adventures of Thomas, a canceled Tom Tom the Tank Tank movie. What's the plot? Well, the movie begins with a young boy named Johnny and his father escaping London during the Blitz of World War II. They are evacuated to his father's old home, situated nearby a railway station. While there, Johnny discovers drawings by his father of engines with faces. One night, Johnny heads down to the station when he is unable to sleep. At the station, he meets Edward and helps to remove a sign stuck in his wheels. As a thank you, Edward takes Johnny on a ride through otherworldly caves and waterfalls to the island of Sodor, a fantasy realm run entirely by trains with no people. You heard that right, no people. Not even Sir Topham Hatt was going to be in this. No people, just trains. At Tidmouth Sheds, Johnny meets James, Percy, and Emily, along with new characters Squeak and Puffing Billy. It is there, in the corner of the sheds, they find Thomas, who is sitting disused, to quote unquote, his coal unlit because he wasn't useful. Johnny reignites Thomas's fire, and he springs back to life. Thomas mistakes Johnny for his father, who used to travel with him long ago. Throughout the film, Johnny travels back and forth between Sodor and the real world, telling his father of his adventures. However, his father does not believe him, having forgotten all about Sodor. Meanwhile, in a grimy industrial city on the other side of Sodor, a gang of diesels led by Smoke, as in a character named Smoke, not the literal smoke, plots to take over the island and smelt all of the steam engines. The diesels begin their ambush by derailing the steam engines and shutting down the coaling plants in the Sodor Mountains. With the steam engines unable to stop them, it's up to Thomas and Johnny to stop their takeover. Thomas and Johnny travel across the island, meeting other new characters. These characters include Bertha, a snowplow, 4 military boats, 2 of which are a husband and wife, and 3 French minecarts who start a resistance against the diesels utilizing underground tunnels. I wish I was making that up. In the climax, there is a relay race across Sodor between the steam and diesel engines. The day is saved by Gordon, who returns after having disappeared during the takeover. The film ends with a shot of Thomas, Johnny, and his father riding off into the sunset. Can you tell this was being handled by the person who directed 9? Can you tell? Just listening to everything I just read. Can you tell that the same guy who was responsible for 9 was helming this project? And I like 9. Do I think he was a good fit for a Thomas the Tank Engine movie? No. Yeah. Now, no official explanation was ever given as to why The Adventures of Thomas was canceled, other than Mattel purchasing Hit Entertainment. But if I had to guess, Well, listen to the whole plot synopsis I just described. If you were Mattel and you just bought Hit Entertainment and you read that entire plot, yeah, seriously, add some evanescence to that. Yeah. If you were Mattel and you bought Hit Entertainment and you bought Thomas and Friends and you read that, you probably would cancel that movie too. Because that, oh boy, that don't sound good. I mean, well, I take it back. As like a cyberpunk train movie, it sounds good. As a Thomas the Tank Engine movie, you tell me. I repeat, as a cyberpunk train movie, it sounds good. As a Thomas the Tank Engine movie, also tell me this. Okay, that was actually, weirdly enough, I kind of expected that reaction, but I think it's a kind of fun and dark. Yeah, it is fun. It is dark. Although I'm not sure if tonally, I mean, yes, I'm aware what I described on a previous episode, but it does sound like fun. I'm just not sure if a kind of sci-fi future war movie is what I would have went for. Maybe sci-fi future. That's an interesting take, but maybe not. I don't know. Also, tell me. I'm going to end the episode with the following question. So, Sodor in this film is a separate fantasy realm with no people. Not even Sir Topham Hatt. No humans at all. No animals, presumably. Okay. Strange, but interesting. Tell me this, then. Who's operating the coaling plants in the mountains? Is that Megan? No, it's ridiculousness. It's ridiculousness. Anyway, but tell me this. If Sodor has no people in this universe, who's operating the coaling plants in the mountains? Who built the engines? I forgot to mention this earlier, but the character Squeak would have been a hand car. You know, one of those things the two idiots stands on and pumps like this. Yeah, a hand car in a world with no people. And also, Thomas's coal unlit because he wasn't useful. And a human needs to light his fire again. So do they need people or not? I find him the most memorable character. Noted. There's a certain episode I want to send, but I'll do it after the show. But, yeah, The Adventures of Thomas. Solid potential, just not sure if it's what I would have went for. Again, sounds very fun. Sounds like a fun, albeit dark film, but I don't know. I just think, tonally speaking, it's an odd choice. And again, no humans, no Sir Topham Hatt. Gives me Narnia vibes. I would say that's what they were going for, but I feel like, oh, that's what I was getting towards. A certain detail about the film is the engines would not have had the traditional gray faces that we're used to. Instead, or where the wild things are. Anyway, the engines in The Adventures of Thomas would not have had the traditional gray faces. They would have had, like, embedded faces that would have meshed with either their grill or smoke box door to look more cool for the teen and adult audience. My god, that would have been Ugly Sonic before Ugly Sonic. Or who knows, it would have looked surprisingly okay. We don't have, like, an actual rendering of what that would have looked like. Well, anyway, I would love to talk this bizarre film all night. I would love to talk the franchise all night. But unfortunately, 12:30 a.m., 90 minutes, it's getting a little late. I would need to see concept art to be on board, pun intended. Okay. I'll find what I can. But anyway, I guess, well, you know what? I guess since we had a lot of fun with this, I guess we'll cover something Thomas related on a future episode. Well, anyway, tomorrow night possibly, I don't know. But anyway, unfortunately though, it's getting a little late, and I don't want this episode to go on too long, and I don't want to be up too late as somebody who does go to bed late, so I think this seems like a good note to finish tonight's episode. Mayhaps we'll talk more Trains with Faces. Definitely we'll talk more ponies. Perhaps we might even talk more canceled movies. But that's all the time we have for tonight. Is there anything you, the audience, would like to say before we sign off? If so, speak now or forever hold your peace. And. Okay, I guess we're going to end this episode, but before I do, scrolling back, okay, there it is. Anyway, alright, that's all the time we have. Alright, that's all the time we have for tonight. Always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. God made you special, and He loves you very much. Good night, and have a day.